Hey everybody, this is a lesson video for Monday, April the 6th. We're doing a lesson on the area of complex figures. So we'll take kind of everything that you learned last week about triangles and trapezoids, rectangles, and circles, and mix those together into some larger, more complicated shapes. I think you'll find this to be pretty easy. Use the calculator when you need to, excuse me, and look up formulas of shapes if you forgot them. So let's write down the lesson title, area of complex figures. Phase 4, 6, 20. Okay. All right, so I'm going to start by drawing a shape. Again, drawing on this thing's not that good. Okay. That's supposed to be a straight line. All right, so we got that that picture now, and I'm going to give you some dimensions. Let's say that we got 16, and maybe we have 14. Maybe we have a 8, and maybe a 5. Okay. Now the thing about these shapes is you're going to have to try to decide how you want to cut them apart. I mean, there's no formula for this shape. This shape looks like an upside down L, so you can't really find the area of that shape. So what we're going to have to do is to cut it into shapes that we're familiar with. There's a lot of options here. I see 2 rectangles, and part of the problem here is just being able to figure out what you can see. For me, I see a rectangle if I cut it right here on the top, so rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. Okay, I can find the area of rectangle 1 and the area of rectangle 2 and add those together to get the total area, right? That's just one method or one way. Maybe you saw the problem a different way. We'll go over that in a minute. Let's work this the way that I see it. So for rectangle number 1, I need to focus on its area equals length times width. Okay. Well, the length here in blue is going to be 14. The width here on this side, I don't have. Okay. I got to figure that out. I put a question mark there. Things I know about the problem is that this long side is 16. And this short side is 8. Which means that my question mark side would have to equal 8 if I subtract 16 minus 8, right? This long side minus this side would be the short side. So that means that width on this is an 8. So again, you guys can get your calculators. And there's a phone ringing in the background. Sorry. You get your calculators. You multiply that out. I'm thinking that's going to be 112 for that rectangle. The next rectangle we'll do in green. I'm thinking about this small rectangle down here. Okay. Things I know about it, it looks like to me it's an 8 by 5. So I got the dimensions here. Again, the area equals length times width. I like 8 times 5. We all know that that's 40. All I have to do is add these two together. 112 plus 140. I like 152 for a final answer on this problem. A couple things you could have done differently. In the beginning, we could have cut this. Maybe some of y'all wanted to cut it this way. You have you have rectangle 1 here and rectangle 2 here. That's your choice. It'll work out the same. You can get the answers that way. I believe my numbers here on number 1, if you're looking ahead, would have to get an 8 on this side. We know that's an 8. 14 subtract 5 would be equal to a 9. So rectangle 1 would be 9 times 8, 72. Rectangle 2 would be 5 times 16. 5 times 16 would be an 80. You add 80 plus 72, you still get 152. Right? Different rectangles, different areas, but the same area for the big shape, complex figure. Okay. Let's try another one. How about one that looks like a, kind of like this one. One that looks like an ice cream cone. So we have this shape on the bottom and this shape on the top, right? So that's not a shape that we have a formula for. A lot of times what you will see in this problem is dotted lines that do that, and that, right angle mark here, and numbers like 6 and maybe 14 here, okay? So what this shape's going to be, there's only one way to do this shape, and that's to make this into a triangle and a half circle, okay? Triangle plus half circle. So triangle plus half circles, what I'm going to do. That's the plan. Let's go in and see if we can get the numbers that we need. So on the triangle, they're giving you a base and a height. Now you got to pay attention here. The base would be the blue line. I'm making it green line. The green line and the green line would be the base and height of this shape. So I'm going to use the formula for triangle 1/2 times the base times the height, and I'm going to let the base be equal to the green line across is going to be a 12, not a 6, right? 6 is radius, but all the way across is going to be a 12. And the height of the triangle will be the perpendicular distance. Here would be 14. So I believe if I use my calculator, that gives me an 84. Okay. Now let's do the circle. You guys know the area of a circle. Pi r. So that's 3.14 times my radius is going to be that distance. I'll go back to red here. From this dot up to there, which is the same as this dot over to there. So it's 6. That's a 6. Okay. So I like 3.14 times 6 times 6. On my calculator, I'm pretty sure that's 113.04, I think. Right, so we add these together. It looks like we're getting 197.04 for a total area, right? That's a triangle plus a half of a circle. Sorry, I made a mistake. You guys are probably sitting there thinking, yep, he did not do that right. I hope you're thinking to yourself, you know, Coach Moore, you didn't do half the circle, and you're exactly right. I did the whole circle. So these dots are where I'm laying my hand on the screen. It's just easier for me to draw this. I need to take on my calculator now, and I need to do 113.04 divided by 2. And I had to go grab my calculator. So 113.04 divided by 2 equals to 56.52. So 52. Okay, that's the area for the half circle. This is the area for the triangle. Okay, sorry about that. So if I add those together, I'm getting 140.52 for a total area for this ice cream cone. Okay. Again, just take the shapes that you see, cut the big shape into shapes that you see, and then use the formulas to help you find the area of each part, then add those together. Okay, we can try one more of these. Um, Here's one that often gives people trouble. I will try to draw this. Um, Maybe like the front of a barn or something. So what this is, lots of numbers going around. 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 5, and 8. Okay, so the question here is, what do you see? I mean, what shapes do you see? Think to yourself, what do I see? What can I make this into? Um, there are a lot of people that will make, you can go straight up right here and make 3 shapes. That's supposed to be straight line. Shape number 1, trapezoid. Shape number 2, which is exactly the same as a trapezoid, and then a rectangle, a square, sorry. Excuse me, rectangle in the middle. Shape 3. Okay, that's one option. I like that option. I think that would be a pretty good option to do there. I could also, well, let's do this one, okay? Let's do 2 traps plus a rectangle. Okay, trapezoid, we got, this is a long formula, right? It's half times, okay. So the height on this trapezoid, it's almost like you need to look at the trapezoid this way. 6, 6, and 6 plus 5, right? See if you can see where I'm getting those from. So the height of it's going to be this number right here, 6. Remember, we do the bases are the 2 parallel sides, so 6 plus the 11. 6 plus 11. So I'm getting a 3 times a 66. 3 times 66 equals 198. One of those is 198, right? And I've got to multiply it by 2 because I have 2 of those trapezoids that are exactly the same. So for both of the ends of this thing, number 1 and 2, I'm getting 396. That takes care of this shape and this shape. Now I've got to do the middle. It's an easy one. It's an 8 by 5 rectangle. It looks like this. 5 by 8. So 5 times 8 makes 40. So we just need to add 40. So that's going to give me what, 438 total for an area. Okay, all 3 shapes added together. Okay, guys, that's it for this one. You're going to be working over, this is a worksheet PDF that I've uploaded. It's worksheet page 328, 328, problems 3 through 11. It will help you to draw the pictures on your paper. Draw the pictures on your paper, okay? And then see how this is all we're going to do this week. There'll be nothing else new. We're going to practice this for a couple of days. So I hope this helps you. Go back and rewatch the video if you need to. Take good notes, and I think you'll be fine. All right?